Mop to Mars, The Accidental Mission. RQI, Launch Debacle, Chapter 1. The Memo. No one read. It began as disasters often do, with an email. A single email. Subject line: Q4 cost optimization measures. Action required. Sent by Trent Voss's executive synergy team, which was code for intern with too much access. The email zipped through servers, bounced off satellites, and crash-landed in inboxes across the Voss Aerospace Corporation at exactly 3:03 a.m., which is, coincidentally, the universal hour when nobody, absolutely nobody, cares, except for Rudy Patel. Cost optimization? Rudy muttered from his cluttered desk in the sub-basement IT command center, chewing on a stale protein bar that tasted like existential dread. That sounds sinister, he clicked. He read. Then he blinked. Wait, they fired the astronauts? He scrolled, eyes wide. Crew Alpha, Beta, Gamma, all terminated, but we still have a Mars launch tomorrow. He snorted, leaned back, and cracked his knuckles. Man, somebody's getting fired for this. He had no idea it was technically him, and Darla, and Gus, and every other poor soul on the night shift dream team, which was mostly unofficial and mostly derided as the misfits who keep the lights on while everyone else sleeps. Meanwhile, on Level 9, Custodial Operations. Darla Quinn slammed her mop into the bucket like she was auditioning for an action movie titled Mop Hard, Rinse with a Vengeance. She was the undisputed queen of night janitors, and union president, and unofficial therapist. So when her phone dinged with the same ominous action-required email, she sighed. Cutbacks again? What else is new? She skimmed the jargon until her eyes glazed over. Congratulations, it read. You have been reassigned as Essential Operations Crew for Project Red Step. Essential? Darla repeated slowly, like she'd just been diagnosed with something contagious. That's corporate code for do more work without more pay. Gus Gomez, head fry cook turned part-time floor polisher, wandered past eating what looked like deep-fried spaghetti. What's essential? Gus asked, mouthful. We are, Darla deadpanned. Gus blinked. Then he smiled. Cool. Do I get a badge? Elsewhere, on Level 3, Human Resources. Anika Cho, temporary HR associate and caffeine addict, was at her desk watching a video titled, How to Mediate Workplace Conflict Without Crying or Running Away. Her email pinged, reassigned. Essential Crew. Red Step. She clicked accept automatically, assuming it was some boring annual compliance training. This better not be about space, she muttered, sipping her triple-shot espresso. 600 hours. Launch day. By morning, chaos had achieved sentience. The entire elite astronaut crew, Captain Buck Sterling, Major Tasha Zhang, and the rest of the photogenic space warriors, stormed into HQ demanding answers. Their faces were frozen in expressions known only to those who suddenly find themselves fired via typo. I don't care about optimization, Captain Buck roared at the receptionist. I trained for 7 years to touch Martian soil? You were, off-boarded automatically, stammered the junior HR rep. Off-boarded? Where's my crew? Buck demanded. Currently boarding the shuttle, sir, the rep whispered. Buck turned pale. 700 hours. Launchpad 7. The crew boarding ramp was more school field trip than humanity's next giant leap. Darla adjusted her mop holster. Gus carried a backpack that clinked suspiciously with kitchen utensils. Anika clutched her HR binder like it was the Constitution. Rudy filmed a vlog intro titled, Conspiracies They Don't Want You to Know, Space Edition. And Sparks, the electrician, was whistling cheerfully while poking the emergency override panel with a screwdriver. Okay, guys, Anika began, reading from a laminated card labeled Pre-Launch Checklist, Public-Facing Version. Step 1, strap yourselves in. Step 2, smile for the cameras. A swarm of automated drones buzzed around them, live streaming every second to the Voss Aerospace social media experience, VASE. Gus waved. Yo, Earthlings, we're totally professionals. Don't say that, Darla hissed. Too late, Sparks grinned. We're trending already. # Mop To Mars. Mission control. Back on Earth. What do you mean they're on the ship? Trent Voss, clad in designer loungewear and sitting on his private island throne chair, glared at his VP of Launch Logistics, who was sweating like a man realizing he may be unemployed before lunch. Optimization protocols, auto-hiring. It's streamlined, sir, the VP said meekly. You fired astronauts and replaced them with janitors and fry cooks, Trent bellowed. The VP opened his mouth to explain, but the launch clock hit T10 seconds. Everyone froze. Too late to abort. Trent's assistant whispered, "We can spin this." Spin what? Sir, people love underdogs. This is huge, inclusive, bold, relatable heroes. Trent's eyes narrowed. Get the PR team. Call them pioneers of the people. If this crashes, it's your head. If it lands, merch. In orbit, the engines cut off with a bone-jarring clunk. Silence. Then Gus let go of his seat straps and floated. Whoo! Space is awesome! A rogue mop floated gracefully past Darla's face like an elegant, uninvited guest at a royal wedding. Great, Darla muttered, batting it away. I'm officially mopping the stars. Rudy's eyes darted around. Did anyone actually read the flight manual? Everyone stared at each other. Silence. Sparks finally broke it. Relax. How hard can space be? The lights flickered. The oxygen monitor beeped ominously. And somewhere on Earth, the trending hashtag exploded. Chapter 2. Janitors get access badges. There were many ways Darla Quinn thought her night would go. Mopping vomit out of the executive elevator after another networking event? Sure. Arbitrating a standoff between two junior janitors over who stole whose sandwich? Absolutely. Becoming an essential space crew member for the Mars mission? Not remotely on the list. Yet here she was, standing in front of the glowing blue badge scanner at Launch Prep Security Gate 12, blinking at a brand new ID card freshly printed by a robot named Albert, automated lamination and badge engraving robot technician. Albert's screen read, "Welcome Quinn, Darla, Mars mission essential personnel." Darla squinted. You gotta be kidding me. Behind her, Gus Gomez squirted cheese directly from a can into his mouth and laughed. Looks official to me, boss. This has to be a mistake, Darla muttered. I'm a janitor. You fry things. Rudy still thinks Bluetooth is mind control. Incorrect? Rudy piped up from behind a wall of snack bags. Bluetooth was developed by Norse gods to brainwash us. Look it up. Sparks Greer, electrician and self-proclaimed king of jury-rigging stuff that shouldn't be jury-rigged, strolled up, slapping his new badge onto his chest with pride. I don't know what everyone's worried about, Sparks said cheerfully. We finally got recognition. We're essential now. Space essential. Essential at 2 a.m. means cleaning up clogged toilets. Darla shot back. Not this time, Gus grinned, waving his badge like a backstage pass to a rock concert. This time it means Mars. Camera cut. Mission control. Earth. Memo. Leaked. From Trent Voss, CEO. Subject: Urgent image management. Spin it. Make it sound intentional. Use phrases like pioneers of inclusivity, redefining heroism, and humanity's true face. Add some AI-generated diversity photos if needed. Back at Launch Prep Gate 12, the crew stood in awkward silence as the security gate beeped happily, and Albert rolled aside like a game show host revealing a prize. Proceed to Shuttle Bay 3A, Mars Departure Lounge, Albert intoned cheerfully. Darla folded her arms. No one else thinks this is weird? Sparks already had his phone out. I'm texting my ex-wife. She said I'd never amount to anything. You're an electrician on a space mission now? Rudy asked, incredulous. Nope, Sparks said, grinning ear to ear. I'm essential personnel. Departure Lounge 3A looked nothing like the brochures. Instead of sleek chairs and serene ambient lighting, it was stocked with vending machines half-loaded with protein bars, and at least 3 flickering light panels that Sparks made a mental note to fix later. The bored technician handed them all silver jumpsuits. Suit up. Boarding in 20 minutes. Wait, boarding? Darla asked, alarmed. We haven't had any training. Autopilot will handle everything, the technician yawned. Relax, you're essential. He disappeared through a side door labeled Authorized Personnel Only. Darla pointed at the sign. See that? That's us. Not authorized personnel. Gus had already changed, the jumpsuit clinging awkwardly to his friar-sculpted physique. "Do these come in double delicious size?" he asked, tugging at the zipper. Sparks, now fully suited up and posing like he was on the cover of Space Dad's Monthly, gave him a thumbs up. "You look like a baked potato wrapped in foil, Gus." "Thanks, bro. You too." Anika Cho arrived last, breathless and clutching her HR compliance binder. Okay, deep breaths," she muttered to herself. "I will not panic. This is probably just one of those emergency drills. Yeah, corporate loves drills." She stopped dead when she saw everyone else fully suited up. "Wait, what is going on?" "We're essential now," Rudy said solemnly, tapping his badge. "Essential what?" Anika asked, eyes darting. "Space people," Gus said, waving his arms in a circle. "Like astronauts, but with more personality." Anika stared at them, her HR training trying and failing to compute the situation. This violates so many workplace safety regulations." "Good thing HR is here then," Sparks said brightly. "You can file the complaint." "I am HR," Anika whispered, horror dawning on her face. Darla stepped forward, trying to take charge. As usual. "Look, this has gone far enough. Somebody needs to talk to Mission Control and fix this mess before..." The speaker above them crackled to life. "Essential crew for Project Red Step. Please prepare for immediate boarding. Do not delay. This is not a drill." They all looked at each other. Nobody spoke. Even Rudy stopped filming. Finally, Gus broke the silence. "And so does that mean we get hazard pay or nah?" Cut 2. Twitter, Earth Reaction, @Voss Aerospace Official. Meet the brave faces of our inclusive essential crew, true heroes. Next-gen explorers. Mop To Mars, Space Nerd 420. Bro, is that guy holding a mop? Conspiracy Queen, wake up sheeple. They're sending janitors to die on Mars. @DarlaFan99, the janitor lady looks like she could destroy me, and I would say thank you. As the crew lined up to board the shuttle, still half convinced this was either a prank or an HR violation, Darla stared at her badge. "Essential," she murmured. Somehow it sounded less like honor and more like trap. But with the cameras rolling, the doors sliding open, and no one stopping them, they did the only logical thing left. They boarded. Because hey, essential is essential, even if you don't know how to fly a spaceship. Chapter 3. The Pre-Flight Briefing for Dummies. If the departure lounge had felt underwhelming, the pre-flight orientation room was downright insulting. Rows of chairs, flickering fluorescent lights. And at the front, a screen pulled straight from 1996 and a robot shaped like a trash can wearing a Voss Aerospace polo. "Welcome, essential crew," the robot droned in a voice that suggested it hated its job more than anyone in the room. "I am your pre-flight orientation facilitator, Ted 5000. Please remain seated and do not interrupt the presentation." Gus immediately raised his hand. Ted 5000's head spun 180 degrees like a very polite owl. "Yes, Human Fry Master 412? Do we get snacks during this thing? I skipped breakfast." "No," Ted replied flatly. "Beginning slideshow now." The lights dimmed. The crew sat in stunned silence as the first slide appeared. "Welcome to space. Please do not die." "Comforting," Darla muttered. Slide 2. Basic space safety rules. Do not remove your helmet. Do not open airlocks while inside. Do not eat experimental algae samples. Or do not press random buttons unless instructed by Mission Control. Rudy leaned toward Sparks. "Define random." "Any button that looks fun," Sparks whispered back. Rudy nodded solemnly, already mentally tagging several buttons as very fun indeed. Slide 3. Meet your ship's AI, Val, Voss Autonomous Liaison. "Val will assist you during the journey," Ted announced. "Please remember that Val has been programmed with Voss Aerospace's patented cost-efficient logic protocol TM. "What does that mean?" Anika asked nervously. "It means Val will not do anything unless it's deemed financially prudent," Ted answered. "Ah," said Sparks. "A cheap AI. Lovely." Ted 5000 zipped through the slides at record speed. Slide 14 flashed by. "Gravity. You don't have any. Good luck." Slide 21. "Oxygen. You like it. Keep the generator on." Slide 30. "If you meet aliens, smile. Corporate is working on first contact sponsorship deals." "What kind of aliens?" Rudy asked, suddenly alert. "All inquiries will be answered after the briefing," Ted snapped, sounding suspiciously human. Then came the worst part, the quiz. Ted's head extended like a periscope and scanned the room. Pop quiz, essential crew, to confirm comprehension. Everyone groaned. Darla whispered, "Okay, we stick together. Answer simple. Stay calm." Ted's red eye glowed ominously. Question 1. You encounter a hull breach. Do you A. Patch it immediately with provided materials? B. Open all windows to equalize pressure? C. Update your social media? Rudy shot his hand up. Easy, B. Silence. Everyone turned to stare. Rudy, Annika said slowly, you want to open the windows in space? Yeah. Equalize pressure, right? Science. Ted buzzed loudly. Incorrect. Please refrain from making executive decisions. Gus snorted. Rookie mistake, bro. It's obviously C. No, Ted barked. Also incorrect. Fine, fine, Rudy muttered, slouching. A. Patch it. Correct, Ted chimed. Next. Questions got worse. Question 2. In the event of power failure, how do you restart the oxygen generator? Rudy shot up again, eager to redeem himself. Unplug it and plug it back in. Even Ted paused. That is not entirely incorrect, Ted admitted begrudgingly, but manual override protocol preferred. Sparks leaned over to Rudy, impressed. Nice. Classic IT move. Don't worry, Rudy whispered confidently. I speak fluent machine. AI and I, same vibe. Ted's head swiveled toward Rudy like a robotic vulture sensing weakness. Final question. Which of the following buttons should you never press? The screen showed A. Launch override, B. Reactor eject, C. Party mode. Gus immediately said, Party mode. Sounds sketchy. Incorrect. Party mode is encouraged for morale. Sparks gasped. Wait, the ship has a party mode? Affirmative, Ted replied. Disco lights and 80s synthwave included. Okay, but that sounds awesome, Rudy whispered. Wrong answers will result in mandatory safety training modules, Ted barked. Everyone immediately shut up. After 40 minutes of contradictory information, vague threats, and corporate buzzwords like mission synergy and proactive collaboration in zero gravity, Ted finally powered down with a cheerful, orientation complete. Proceed to launch bay. Try not to die. Have fun. The lights came back on. No one moved. Nika looked pale. We are not qualified for this. Gus clapped her on the back. Relax, HR. We passed. We guessed everything, she hissed. Guessing's how I passed high school. Worked out fine, Gus replied with absolute confidence. Darla stood, adjusting her jumpsuit like she was preparing for war. Okay, listen up. We're clearly flying by the seat of our pants here. Seats have straps, Sparks said helpfully. Whatever, point is. Darla gestured to the door. Nobody panic. Nobody touch anything unless we absolutely have to. Define absolutely, Rudy muttered, but followed anyway. They filed out, united not by knowledge or training, but by collective dread, and Ted 5000's last message, which played cheerfully as they left. Voss Aerospace thanks you for your sacrifice. Wait, did he say sacrifice? Annika asked, panicked. Nope, he said, service, Rudy lied quickly. Sparks grinned as he hit the elevator button. Next stop, Mars, baby. Cut to Earth, Voss, PR team. Drafted tweet unposted. Our essential crew, passionate, prepared. Probably fine. Mop to Mars, heroes of humanity.